Especially in today's day and age, I want everybody to really know this. I'm certifying this, that the new age brands that are coming up, the new age startups, they actually are.
Today's conversation is about how external transformation can sometimes trigger internal shifts, how grooming can remove insecurity, and how self care can quietly rewrite the way we view ourselves, we love ourselves. She works at a time when cosmology has become a hot topic in urban life, with people constantly seeking solutions for skin, hair, and appearance, and yet brings a grounded, practical, and deeply personal understanding of grooming. She believes beauty is not just about correction but about care, and that how we treat our body reflects how we treat ourselves. Welcome to the podcast, Shudipta.
Thank you very
So,
much.
so glad to have you and looking forward to a wonderful conversation. I am sure the audience is to be supremely enlightened, and also post watching this entire video, go back and think to themselves, what is grooming all about? You started off as a makeup artist, leading to hair and then the cosmetology and parts of it. Since you mentioned that you started very early on, your mother left behind a legacy of her own.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the biggest emotional challenge you had to kind of take on quite early on in your life, post the vacuum, your mother left behind, and taking over the responsibility of a flourishing salon and the clients which were always coming to them?
So it was initially when I started working, I was only, I think I started working from the age of 15, 16. I started working. That was the time when I started doing the bridal makeups. After that, I was also studying. So after I completed my education, that is when I started working full time. So working that way, I was still working under my mother, so no pressure. The point was around 2019 when she passed. That is when overnight everything was actually handed over to me. Because until then, I had to take up the entire business completely by just as she had the disease. She was alive for a year. But then you still have that feeling. There's this ceiling above your head. So it was not a very welcome experience for me. I was very happy working the way I was working, and I had to take some very hard decisions around that time. So it wasn't a fun decision or something, but having said that, it took me some time to completely step into that role, not because of the responsibility but mostly because of the emotional part, because it was not a happy takeover.
Right.
Had it been something like that, it would have been different. I had to take some very difficult decisions, as in that we had expanded, right? And because of Ma, I could float around. But as she passed, I realized that I was not being able to float around as much, and I wasn't getting to meet all my clients like I do. So I took the decision of discontinuing that. So that was a very big decision that I had to take, because you are running a flourishing business, and to shut it off because you know that you want to be able to actually meet each and every single client. So that was difficult.
And I think also for you also, I think 2019 you stepped into this new role, and 2020 we had COVID. And till 2021 business was completely kaput. I think it was all the more taxing for you as a new businesswoman, because there were a lot of challenges additionally being placed on your hand, I think.
So it was very difficult. COVID was very, very difficult for me, not because I had no business, because I still I was working. So I think it was the first 3 months when I was at home. But after that, my regular clients who live in and around my area,
They were coming.
they were coming, and I had no help. So I had to literally clean the room, sanitize the place, because after each and every, I used to do 3 clients a day.
Yeah.
One in the morning, one in the afternoon, one at in the evening. So after every single client left, I had to sanitize the entire room and lock it for an hour.
Yeah.
Again, I had to come back and do the thing.
Absolutely.
So that was very difficult. Post that, when we started, after again we opened, so I had to change my entire stuff because of somebody is not willing to join back
Yeah.
right then. So
Yeah.
so it was very difficult. But then you see, nothing stops for anything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
The person who made the business is not there, but the business is still flourishing. So that
flourishing,
means you and I are not important. The world is going to just go on.
Yeah, I think what you leave behind is more of the goodwill, good name, and a little bit of a legacy, and that's about it.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
yeah, and I think we kind of value ourselves too much. Many times, it's wise just to keep on doing our karma without thinking much about what we are going to get in return, just like our Gita says. Healthy grooming or obsessive perfection? Thoughts on it?
Obsessive perfection, it does not actually, it's no point. There is nothing called perfect, right? So you could be the most beautiful person on earth. If you're insecure, you will still want to do something more with
Yeah,
it.
true. Agreed.
So it's always better to do healthy grooming. What is the point of obsession?
Absolutely. So I think you should actually say something as a cosmetologist to all the young viewers who today, obsess about a lot of products, lot of DIYs, lot of videos they see on social media.
So that is the perfect recipe to completely ruin your skin forever. If at a young age you are using a lot of products, especially I see young 18-year-old, 19-year-old kids coming to me telling me, "Auntie, can I use vitamin C? I feel like slapping them." Do not do that. It is the perfect way to ruin everything. You have to always have a habit. You have to understand if your skin is oily, dry, or normal. Broadly, there could be other problems and everything as well. If you're in your teenagers, you will mostly have acne. Most people have acne problems. So go to a reliable person, get a routine. They will tell you that these are the products that you have to use. It could be 1, 2 or 3 products, a face wash, a basic something, a moisturizer kind of a something. And maybe if you have some problem, some acne, maybe the doctor gives you something.
Yeah.
Stick to that. Do not do the DIYs, because okay, so another tangent on the DIYs as well. I was seeing the other day what I thought was actually a recipe for something, and then it turned out to be a pack for the skin. So she put tomatoes and potato juice and this and that. Eat it. Make a salad. If you want to really make a salad, make that salad and eat it. It's going to benefit you. Putting all of that on your face, maybe you're allergic to tomatoes. Maybe most people are.
Most people are. True.
So you see that and you put it on your face. What's the point of doing that?
I think I just remember an incident with my own self. I am not citrus doesn't doesn't suit me. I remember once I had put lemon and my entire skin had kind of burnt off, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? Absolute blackish thing. So I think we should be a little wary of what we see. Not everything suits us, and as Sudipta has rightly said, do follow what the doctor has prescribed you, and don't go about too much of makeup and all the other DIY stuff just to fit into the picture or fit what the trends are. Rather be yourself, be bright, beautiful and soulful.
Absolutely.
So now that we have been speaking for so long, I have a question, and like me, I am sure many of our viewers have this question. Describe cosmetology, what falls under it, and also, like, if I am going to a cosmetologist for the first time, what all should I check in before I actually pay the money to kind of be a part of some program, some kind of cosmetology changes, something. So if you can explain.
Okay. So I will give you the simplest explanation of what cosmetology is. There are certain chemicals that are good for your skin as well. There are chemical ingredients that are good for your skin as well, right? So we actually see your skin, understand what problems are there in your skin, then we use certain specialized products with specialized machines to treat them. That is what cosmetology is, number one. Number two, whether should you go to a cosmetologist or not? Yes, you can absolutely go to a cosmetologist. We usually do not do anything that is too invasive for your skin. We do not at all do anything invasive, meaning we do not do fillers, we do not do Botox. We can do, sometimes people do, I will come to that later, but that is not actually a part of proper cosmetology. That is, as that comes under beauty aesthetics, but that's not actually just cosmetology, right? So, and your third question, how should you understand who to go to? When you go to a person and you see that they have covered their face up with makeup, they have put on a lot of fillers and everything else on their face, run. If a person is not confident in their own skin, how the hell will they help you?
True.
So that is your answer, that is what you have to see. And well, about packages and everything that you should invest in, I never suggest any packages to my clients. So I do not, I myself do not understand the concept of packages, because it can so happen that tomorrow you shift to some other city or something. So I don't know about the packages. Individual settings about that, you can go for individual settings. Go to a person you can trust. And no, cosmetology, if now see, everything depends on the practitioner, but it is not something that can harm you in any way.
What questions should people ask to their cosmetologist before starting any treatment?
So you can ask for their diagnosis. The first thing you you should ask. The first question should be their diagnosis. What is it that they think is the problem with your skin?
Okay.
Right? When they say that to you, your second question should be, how are they planning to tackle it?
Okay.
So they will give you some options. You have to understand whatever. Now it depends what is suiting your budget and everything. So according to that you can do it, right?
Okay.
So then you ask them about what other machines they are going to use, what procedures they are going to do, and we are actually supposed to tell you everything if you want to know.
Okay. Okay.
So you can ask them all of that, because based on all of that, they're going to also give you the follow-up
Okay.
routines.
Okay. Got it.
So you should. It is not you can. You should and you must.
So I think what you are trying to say is that be an informed,
Absolutely.
customer, and when you are trying to do something a little new which you've not tried, it's important to know also what you are getting into, because that's also something to do with external beauty, which has a huge impact on your own emotional well-being and peace of mind.
Yeah, and it is not only for anything else, but if something goes wrong,
Yeah.
so you should know what is being done to your skin. You should absolutely know that.
Absolutely.
So
I think it's very important that we are more informed about what we are getting into. So now myths about hair care and skin care.
মিথস অ্যাবাউট হেয়ার কেয়ারের মধ্যে সব থেকে ইম্পর্টেন্টলি হচ্ছে কালার করলে চুল পড়ে যায়, চুল সাদা হয়ে যায়। সো প্রফেশনাল কালার করলে হয় না।
ওকে।
বাড়িতে তুমি কালারের নামে যদি ওই ডাই নিয়ে আসো করো তাহলে হয়, বাট আদারওয়াইজ দ্যাট ডাজন্ট হ্যাপেন। আনাদার উইথ হেয়ার ইজ মেহেন্দি করলে চুল ভালো হয়, অ্যান্ড পিপল পুট অন আগেন পুরো রেসিপি বানায় ডিম দিয়ে দই দিয়ে। মেহেন্দিতে বেসিক্যালি মুলতানি মাটির আর মেহেন্দির কম্পোজিশনটা খুব সিমিলার হয়। ওর পিপিডি বলে একটা সাবস্টেন্স হয় যেটা মেহেন্দিতে থাকে, ওটা কোট করে হেয়ারকে। ওটার কাজ হচ্ছে মুলতানি মাটির মতো ধরে নাও, ওটা চুল থেকে জলটা টেনে বার করবে। সুতরাং ইফ ইউ আর অ্যাপ্লাইং হেনা অন ইয়োর হেয়ার, ইউ আর অ্যাকচুয়ালি ডিহাইড্রেটিং ইয়োর হেয়ার। অ্যান্ড ইফ ইউ হ্যাভ থিন হেয়ার and you do that entire pechano thing to apply that henna, so you're causing more hair fall. It is doing more harm than good.
Yeah.
These are the two biggest myths that I get irritated of telling people.
Okay.
And about the skin, kacha aloe vera, kacha tomato, kacha shosha, kacha lebu, don't put any of that, not even aloe vera. not even aloe vera, because in a very simple explanation, যেরকম তোমার আর আমার দুজনে ব্লাড টেস্ট করলে তোমার ব্লাড সুগার আমার ব্লাড সুগার সেম আসবে এরকম কোনো কথা নেই, সেরকম গাছেদের মধ্যেও টক্সিনস এই গাছটার আর ওই গাছটা সেম আসবে তার কোনো কথা নেই, আর সেই গাছটা আমি বাড়িতে পুষে বাড়ির জল খাওয়াচ্ছি বলে ওর টক্সিন আসবে না এরকম কোনো কথা নেই।
ওকে,
most people cut that aloe vera, scrape out the pulp and put it on their skin. You're not supposed to do that in the first place. ওটাকে দাঁড় করিয়ে রেখে দিতে হয় at least overnight. একটা জিনিস আলাদা করে লেয়ার বেরোয়, ওই পার্টটা কেটে ফেলে দিতে হয়, then there is a process of treating that aloe vera. কি দরকার, তার থেকে তো মার্কেটে সস্তায় ভালো ভালো aloe vera জেল পাওয়া যায়।
রাইট,
if you do not trust them, go to a pharmacy, you will get medicated aloe vera gels, buy them and use them. So do not put anything on your face, do not, whatever is there in your fridge, eat it, don't put it on your skin.
eat it, not put it.
Yeah, eat it, don't put it. So that is one of the biggest thing. Another thing is sunscreen লাগিয়ে skin খারাপ হয়ে যাচ্ছে। This is something which I have been hearing for the past 1 year. This is a new myth people have come up with. They have discovered this one now. That is impossible. It is completely impossible. There are very, very good formulas available in the market. Buy one that suits your skin. Go and ask somebody. Don't go for the influencers. Ask somebody who knows about it. Use that. But skin kharab hobe if you do not come back home and then you do not remove it properly. If you let the sunscreen sit on your skin forever, then it is going to harm your skin. But otherwise, it can do no harm.
Absolutely.
So these are the two most important things on both the examples that I want everybody to
Perfect. Do expensive products mean better products?
Not at all. Not at all. But that does not also mean that expensive products are bad products. So there are certain products, I cannot name the products actually, but there are certain products, certain brands, for certain purposes they are very good. They actually work. I'm talking about skincare, not about makeup. They actually work very well. But and yeah, there are certain cases actually where you only have expensive products to treat that particular problem. But otherwise it is not a mandate, and especially in today's day and age, I want everybody to really know this. I'm certifying this, that the new age brands that are coming up, the new age startups, they actually are doing some amazing work.
Some very good products are
very good products
available at a very decent price,
very decent pricing, very good products. So so people who want an alternative to expensive products, they are there, and same with the makeup as well. So in fact with makeup, I think most of the most expensive brands, I have worked with all of those brands. I have worked with their products. For an expert, for somebody who's a professional, I don't think it really matters. I don't think for us it really matters what products we are using. Sometimes yes, but no, mostly the new age products are also good. So no, it is, I don't believe that expensive ones are only good.
What is that one thing people should actually immediately do to safeguard the health of skin and hair? Something which they are doing and they shouldn't be doing it in the long term.
So doing and shouldn't be doing, I'll come to that. Before that, I'll give you one pointer about what you can do to make things better. It is all in your diet. The entire skin and your hair, it's all in your diet. If you eat healthy food, there are certain vitamins and everything else. So if you follow a good healthy routine, it is going to be taken care of. And I will not say that completely stop smoking, completely do not touch alcohol. I'm not going to say that. Do everything in a limited amount. I'm not against anything, but everything has to be in a limited amount. If you can limit that amount, you will crack it. But usually consumption of too much vices, and also because they generate free radicals in your body. So free radicals means aging faster, right? So that is one thing. And also late nights, so that a little bit of lifestyle thing. I'm not saying don't, I'm not one of them who completely shuts out one thing, but in limitations maybe. So that is the most important.
Okay, what is that one beauty habit which people should immediately forego in order to have healthy skin and hair?
Using too much makeup and using a lot of styling products and heat for the hair. These are the two main problems. এই দুটো যদি অ্যাভয়েড করা যায়, মুখে মেকআপ খুব বেশি খুব ফ্রিকোয়েন্টলি করা আর হেয়ারে খুব বেশি হিট দিয়ে প্রচন্ড সেটিং করা, a lot will change.
Is inner beauty something which people can actually invest in, just like they spend time over skincare and hair care?
So this is a very this topic is very close to me. I really believe that if you can connect yourself to the ground and the beyond, you will become a better person. You will glow from within.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very important for everybody to get into some kind of a meditation practice.
Okay.
And you know, whenever we say meditation, I also had that thing, by the way. I also felt that way, that how the hell am I going to sit for so long, and
Yeah.
how am I going to do it? So, you know how you hear people, you have to imagine this, you have to do this. Trust me, you can just lie down if you want to, whatever feels comfortable to you. When you start, play some music. When you start, what is going to happen is you're going to be thinking about something. Let that be. Slowly, once you incorporate this process, you will start glowing from within, and you will be a happier person. You know, you will always be smiling.
Yeah.
So that is, and that bliss, you know, that is very beautiful. That feeling, if you can get that feeling from within yourself, that confidence, that is basically getting over all of your other insecurities.
So, you know, on our platform at Searching Soulmate, we always also do the second bit of it, which is self-love, you know. So, you know, like when you connect, when you communicate, when you self-explore, that is when actual growth happens, you know.
Yes.
And you like, you know, when we invite our guest, the podcast guest, our Facebook Live guest, we always think about how do we correlate, you know, how do we coexist, how does the topics actually enhance the listeners, the people who are going to be on our platform. And as you rightly said, that, you know, that connect with with like what is in me and what is the ground, like, you know, that ground, like being rooted. I think that kind of comes only when you are actually soul searching and you are actually kind of investing in your own personal growth.
Yes, you are trying to understand the person you are.
Yeah.
And also, yes, this is also something very, very important. If you have a community of people
Yeah.
around you who are also, you know, who are not trying to pull you down.
Yeah.
They are also trying to push you forward. You know, like-minded people. You don't have to do much. Maybe just walk. Maybe just go for a cup of chai.
Yeah, and
Just talk.
that's exactly what we do on our community, as we are a community platform. So, you know, the people come together, so they have something in commonality. One of the commonalities may also be something they want to learn, something they want to invest in terms of personal growth. So, you know, for us, grooming, both internal and external grooming, along with communication, is a part of that personal growth journey where people can actually exercise their own power to choose this and, you know, kind of grow. Now, when we say, like, you know, on like we've been discussing a lot of external you know, grooming hacks and myths and everything, but when you say that, you know, it's so important to feel that spiritual connection, you know, I think it's not very easy saying, but a lot of people will take back from this conversation how you can also, like, you know, start on that journey.
Yes.
You can start on that journey, and over a period of time, probably invest in your own well-being, emotional well-being, your mental well-being, your physical well-being. Like for a lot of us, we invest some time in the outdoors. Like I personally do that because for me, that's the way I
Yes.
connect.
Whatever is your connection.
Yes,
It
yes.
could be water.
Yes.
It could be
Sound, it can be
it can be anything.
It can be anything.
Whatever makes it work.
Yeah. So, I like through that entire year, I make it a point at least 5 days in a week to step out, be it hail, storm, wind, rain, heat, anything, because I feel very, very, alive, I think, because I can be thinking 100 things in my mind, but what I see around makes me smile, makes me happy. The squirrel squatting, some crows acting very, very like they are very, very like they are the busiest people in the world, and the way the birds are chirping, the birds are feeding their little ones. I think that kind of puts a smile on my face.
Have you ever stopped and try to talk back to the the way they behave as if they understand?
Yeah.
And then especially the crows, they'll sometimes come try to scare you, and that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's quite hilarious. So now we have come to the end segment, but with all our guests, we have been doing this, and I find that it's a great takeaway. Great way of taking some narrative out of this entire conversation. So we call it the rapid fire.
Okay.
And for the same, we'll ask you a few questions and just answer maybe in a word or maybe two words. Okay. Compliments from others or comfort with self.
Comfort within self.
Expensive product or consistent routine.
Consistent routine.
Trends or timeless style.
Timeless style.
Looking good or feeling good.
Feeling good.
Glowing with an highlighter or glowing from inside.
Glowing from inside.
And one last hack you would want to suggest to our viewers, where somebody can be confident inside out, something which they can do just in a line.
Just practice some kind of meditation. That will do everything. That's it.
What if somebody is not able to do meditate? Somebody can work out and do something.
Work out. Take out time for yourself. Don't meditate. Take out time for yourself. Do whatever you want to do in that time, and take out some time for yourself. If you want to glow from within, then this is your path. Putting cream and everything else is not going to do it. You have to eat healthy. You have to take out time for yourself. You will find the way how what needs to be done.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Thank you so much. We had a wonderful conversation, and I am sure as we post this, as more people view this, we'll be having a lot of queries. So we'll pass on those queries to you, and you can answer back. And to the audience, I am sure this particular video, which is a part of our expert advisory services, which is grooming and communication, I think is of immense value to you. Do like, follow, subscribe our channel. Do spread the word about what we do at Searching Soulmate, because we are building a social networking platform with a difference.